World, hello world, hello world. What's up, Mr. Jordan? I see you in the background. I got you. I got you. I see you. Let me make sure let's sound check you. Make sure you good. All right, I can see you. I can hear you. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so I'm going to drop you back to the background so I can load everything up
Mm.
and get everybody in, and then we're gonna
Okay.
start the interview, man. You got any questions before we get?
Okay. You said what?
Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, I'm pretty good.
All right, word. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and share this out. Let people know you are in the building. Though I got you. All right.
Okay.
All right. All right, yo. So yeah, we got our guest to honor on the Mizike. Mr. G Jordan is on the mic. He's ready. He's ready to speak. He's got some stuff to say, and we're gonna share this video out really quickly. Mr. Jordan, I see. Let me mute that. We got G Jordan tonight. G Jordan tonight. I know y'all want to hear from the young man. This young man's been were, and I'm excited to speak to him tonight and hear what his thoughts are. You know, we live in an era of viral sensations, and this young man is definitely much more than just one clip. He has much more to say than just what you heard. So I want to give him an opportunity tonight. So while I'm doing that, I need you guys to share this out. We're gonna get started in about 2 minutes. In about 2 minutes, I am live with G Jordan. You ain't heard applause like that before, right? See, yeah, yeah. Join us. All right. Please share this out. Let the world know that we are here. We are here and we are ready to speak to you guys. We are here to speak to you guys. I'm gonna have a great interview with Mr. Jordan. I'm excited. I'm excited about hearing his story. I'm excited about finding out more about the man. I'm excited. It's gonna be a great interview. It's gonna be a great interview. We're starting in about 1 minute. About 1 minute. But while you're waiting, this 1 minute, please go ahead and share this out. If you're watching this on replay, just go ahead and skip forward in about 30 seconds. And or you can just listen to me talk. That's also fun. All right. Let me share my screen. Do not be good. All right, let's do it. Let's go in. Let me see. Yeah. Hello, world, and welcome back to Real Talk with Rajan, where nothing's off limits. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I am your host, Ray Jean Lewis. Now, here on Real Talk with Rajan, everything's debatable, so in any given week, we could be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, for those who are new to Real Talk with Rajan, I am your host, Ray Jean Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. Here on Real Talk with Rajan, we have a goal of shining a light on the great things and the great people that are right here in the Low Country and beyond. And tonight, we have a very special young man. I'm excited about interviewing this young man. You've seen the video. If you haven't seen the video, after you watch this video, you want to make sure that you go find this video because this young man is making a difference in the community, one person at a time. I want to introduce him. His name is Mr. G Jordan. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me.
How you doing?
All right, all right. So for the 5 people on earth that don't know who you are, please introduce yourself.
I am G Jordan. I call myself Pharaoh Almighty sometimes, though. That's my nickname.
Okay.
Even though G Jordan's my nickname too.
What's your government name? Just so we can get that cleared up.
Giveon Jordan. But
Giveon.
but no one can ever say it properly, so everybody just calls me G Jordan.
Giveon Jordan. I got it. Come on, Joe. My name's Rajan.
I know.
I got you.
It's hard for 95% of people. It's very hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So where are you originally from?
I'm from North Charleston, South Carolina.
But
I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I moved to Durham, North Carolina, and then I moved to San Diego, California, and then I came back. So I've been a little bit of different states,
Okay.
In the United States.
All right, cool. So I don't know if you know this, but I know your mom.
You do? Who?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Trail?
Yeah.
Yeah. So me and Jalita went to high school together.
Oh, really? Oh, but she
Yeah,
ran track. She ran track,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she
North
got a
Charleston High.
scholarship.
You're Yeah, so yes, I know your people. So
Hmm.
when everything happened with you, I saw your mom sharing the video, and
Hmm.
then I was like, "Yo, that's dope. Let me meet this guy." I had no idea that you were going to become this guy though. So
Yeah,
first of all, thank you for coming on my show, giving
of
my little
course.
show, a couple an opportunity to speak to you and to hear your story. But let's start really at the beginning for you. What's your upbringing? What was your upbringing like? Because apparently you definitely have a different way of thinking about things. So before we even get into the actual video, I want to talk about G, the gentleman who
Yeah,
is G Jordan.
the the guy behind the mask,
Yeah, who's
basically.
the guy behind Pharaoh
Um,
Almighty?
G. Jordan is a guy who grew up with a single mom, you know, urban area, poor area, you know. Um, I had a lot of people that I knew, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a lot of people in my circle. So
Mm,
when we moved to San Diego or Atlanta or Durham, North Carolina, you know, I knew people, but I didn't let people in my circle because I just knew that my energy was precious, you know.
mm,
And then I also knew that one wrong person in your circle could mess up your life. It
absolutely.
could mess up my life, you
Mm,
know. So I really that's I guess that's when I really started analyzing people at a young age, but not really in a negative way, but in a self-aware way. You
mm.
know, like
Yeah.
I wanted to raise my awareness with people because I knew that's gonna be one of the main factors of why I would be so successful.
Mm. I love that. I love that. So with that being the case, like, were you like an honor student in school, or because I want to make
No,
sure people understand, like, you know,
no, I was not in art. I was a C student, if maybe B on a good day, on a great
uh
day,
huh,
you know,
uh
on
huh,
a perfect day, you know. But
yeah, yeah,
I was just an average guy just trying to make it through high school, through middle school, elementary school, through college. You know, I was just
yeah,
trying to make it. You know, I wasn't deep into it where I was like, I'm gonna study for 5 hours a day. I was not doing
right,
that.
right,
I
right,
just wasn't doing that. And that's basically how my life went. And then I took school a little bit more seriously when I reached my 11th, 12th grade year in high school. Is when I
mm-hmm.
started taking school a little more seriously because that's when basketball scholarships started coming in. So
Okay,
I was like, oh, okay, well, let me take it just a little bit more seriously. Then I got to play basketball for a couple years at Erskine College. You know, I didn't start or nothing, but just that experience was
right,
just amazing. You know, that was
yeah,
just an amazing experience to live out my dream because playing basketball on that big stage, even though it was D2, it was still my dream. You know,
right. And you played on scholarship, you said?
yeah, I played on scholarship.
Yeah.
It was like a $40,000 scholarship, so it was crazy.
Hey, y'all can sit on the bench all day. Pay for my
Yeah,
college? Yeah, I'll take that. You still get the track, you still get the clothes, you still get the
yeah,
shoes. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
dub. I think that's a
And
dub.
and then I guess I probably could have made the starting team or like played more, but I broke my ankle,
Oh man.
and where I was in my life and in my mentality, I wasn't ready for that. You
Okay.
know, I wasn't
Uh-huh.
ready for that, and that broke me. You know,
Mm.
and then I went back. Like I was on crutches for 2 months. I had a big boot on. You know, I couldn't play. I couldn't do anything because I actually broke the bone off another piece of bone.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was that bad, and I just gave up on myself and gave up on life, and I was just sitting at my grandma's house, but on my step family side, and I fell into the depression. You know,
Mm.
like I was a victim to depression, and I was just like, I hate my life. You know, and what I found out later on, watching Eric Thomas, watching Tony Robbins, who's a really
Yeah,
good motivational speaker,
absolutely.
he hit me because he said that people usually fall into depression when their life is not going the way they thought it was going.
Right.
Well, he said people hit depression because their life is not going the way that they thought it was supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
basically,
Yeah.
and that is what happened to me. My life wasn't going the way I thought it was supposed to go, because I thought I was gonna play on a big college team, like bigger than that D2 team. I was gonna play for
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
like Duke or something. You know, I had crazy dreams. You know,
Right.
I was trying
Right.
to make it big. You know, but
Right.
it just wasn't working out, and that's when I fell into the depression, and that's when I was a little bit of a suicidal, you know, but not
Wow.
crazy. But
Uh-huh.
I just was like, my life is not worth it. Who I am as a person, I'm not worth it, because I'm not doing nothing but being a bum. I'm everything
Mm.
that people thought I was gonna be. I'm everything that the system thought I was gonna be. You know, I'm the statistic right now. You know,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
so like that really hit me hard, and I'm just glad that I didn't, you know, go over the suicide point, you know, because
Yeah.
I would have regretted that heavily. And I see a lot of people who have committed suicide or thought about committing suicide, and they don't know that if you just stick through it, it's going to be okay. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be okay. It's just a wall you got to break, you know.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, because that definitely is something that's hard to share. It's
Yeah,
not. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. So you're in college. You find yourself in that place. Did you graduate from college?
No, I didn't graduate. I ended up transferring to Coastal Carolina, because I was like, you know what? Because if people don't know, Erskine College is a small college, like
Hmm.
1,000 maybe people there,
Hmm.
but they all 90% of people there play sports though.
Yeah.
Probably more like 80% of people there play sports. So it's just a very small college out in the middle of nowhere, out in the country. You know, like they're our friends. You know,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
so, like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how it was. And I was just caught up in the hype of seeing everybody party at, you know, other schools, you know, Kentucky, you know, what's Kansas, you know, all these big schools people are partying at, and I'm just like, I kind of want that, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. You
like,
thought that was the way
well,
to go.
yeah. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna play basketball no more, because you know I'm getting older and it's too late, and I just gave up. And at the same time, I wish I didn't give up, because I was still super young, but
Mm.
I had no guidance.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like I had a mom, you know, and I had women in my life, but I really didn't have a man in my life to guide me,
Yeah.
or like a man in my position to tell me, look, it's just a hurdle. Like, it's going to be okay. You don't got to give up. But I didn't know. I was
Wow.
young. I was young and dumb, you know, like I
Right.
didn't
Well,
know.
shit. How old are
So
you now?
23.
You're 23, boy. Young
Yeah.
and dumb. So listen. Let me tell you something. 23. You're at 23, man. I'll tell you this. One, the fact that you recognize the fact that you were young and quote unquote dumb at that time means that you're growing. But
Mhm.
I'm telling you, at 23, you're gonna have a lot more opportunities to feel young and dumb when you hit
Mhm.
30 and then
Yeah.
40, and because you
Yeah.
got a long life ahead of you. I'm really glad to hear, even that you had that bout
Mhm.
that bout with depression and
Mhm.
even suicidal thoughts, like that you came across, you came through, man. And right now you're an inspiration to people. So
Mhm.
let's talk about, so was this your first protest that you went to?
First ever.
Wow.
First ever,
Wow.
first ever, like speaking to a crowd, because I've always was inspired by people like Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, you know, those motivational speakers,
Yeah.
and I've always wanted to like be on that stage in a sense, but I had a big problem with stuttering, and even now I don't stutter that much anymore. But when I
Hmm.
talk about sensitive topics and stuff like that, it might come back up, you
Yes.
know. But I've really made huge steps towards like stuttering and stuff like
Yes.
that. But
Uh-huh.
that always hindered my growth of speaking, because I was always so afraid of it, and I was always so afraid of what other people thought, because I wanted people to accept me for who I am, and I
Yeah.
thought if they saw the stuttering, they wouldn't they wouldn't see me, you know,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
would look past the message I was trying to give them, because I'm always stopping and going,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So I similarly, same thing, right? So I do motivational speaking. I do speaking as well, and I used to stutter. I used to
mhm,
stutter a lot. My dad used to stutter so badly. You know, to the point where people like make fun of him. And because I
Yeah,
saw people make fun of my dad, you know, it made me really conscious about my stutter.
mhm,
So what I learned, and I do listen to Eric Thomas, and I listen to
mhm.
ET and
Yeah,
Les,
yeah.
and you know, and
Les Brown,
all,
Les Brown.
yes, and
I
Tony
got you.
Robbins definitely. So I'm a big fan of those people as well. But what I'll tell you is, you know, when you're doing your speaking, and this is not even something that we came in here for, but when you're doing your speaking, be confident, like you said, in who you are. Everything that God
Mhm,
has put into you is you have enough. Your story is going to be enough. Just the thing that you've told me, the things you've told me in the like 7 minutes that we've been talking so far, have already inspired me
mhm,
to keep going and to thrive. So the main thing I would tell you is to identify a place that you can perfect that skill. I did
mhm,
Toastmasters for 2 years, and
mhm.
that helped me a lot to perfect. Not It's not really perfected. I'm still growing it, but
Yeah.
to better form and shape the style that I have of speaking and to make it individual to me, because there's
Mhm.
something that's special inside of you that can only reach people that are assigned to you.
Yeah.
That's a special thing to understand. And we're gonna talk more about that. But so okay, this is your first protest. All right.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's go before the protest. George
Mhm,
Floyd passes. What's the
mhm.
first thing that goes through your mind?
The first thing I'm going. Well, the first thing that's going through my mind is that um is another black man being killed.
Yeah,
You know, and like
yeah,
this was like slow murder.
yeah,
You know, so it hit people differently because it's
yeah,
like you could imagine yourself being George Floyd, and literally every single second, every single minute, you can feel yourself just dying off. You know,
yeah, yeah,
and I think that is what hit me. I think that is what hit a bunch of people in the world. Just like you can imagine being George Floyd, and then all the other black people that died just a day before, or a week before, or a month before, and it was just like, dang, this is really getting out of hand.
yeah,
This is really getting crazy because we're like they're just murdering black people like we're animals,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And that's sadly that is what some people really think of us. You know, they think that we're animals. They think that we're apes. They think that we're dogs. And a large part of it is due to their upbringing, and a large part is due to social media and
mm,
like news outlets too.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. So George Floyd dies. The protests start Minneapolis. You know, we
Mm,
see what's happening in Minneapolis, and then it grows. We start seeing it happening in California, and then it
mm,
starts happening in Texas, and then it starts like the ripple effect starts to the
yeah.
point where, you know, we get to the point where we're having the protest, and then Saturday night comes. Right, Saturday
Mm,
night in Charleston comes. I can't remember the
yeah.
exact date, but I remember I was in. Me and my wife
30th,
were actually,
I
yeah,
think.
yes. So me and my wife were in, yeah, because it was our anniversary weekend. We were in Myrtle Beach, celebrating the
Oh,
anniversary. We couldn't go far because Corona. So we're in Myrtle
yeah.
Beach, and that whole day before, I had been following the protests online, and I knew that the one in Charleston was coming, and like all hell breaks loose in Charleston. Like it
Mm.
goes hammer, hammer, like hammer, hammer, bammer. They're burning things, they're
They're
breaking
burning cop
things,
cars
they're
or
burning
trying to
cop
burn
cars, they're
cop
fighting
cars.
police,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, this is really real. Um, and I gotta be honest, I've said this on my show multiple times. My heart was broken that night just because I didn't know how to process it. Like I
Mhm.
didn't even go to sleep that night. I think I went to sleep at 6:30 that morning. I was up watching everything I could watch until like 6:30 that morning. I finally
I
fell
went to sleep
asleep.
at 4.
Yeah, so yes, so you was with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So then the next day comes, Sunday comes, and they said, "Oh, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have some more protests today." And I'm like, "There's no way people are gonna protest after what happened yesterday."
Mm-hmm.
And so that's I started watching the beginning of the Marion Square protests, and I
Okay.
see the stuff going on, but I saw you in the background, but I stopped watching before the thing happened with you. So I want to know, what was your mindset going out there for the protest?
Um, my mindset was that this is not the way. You know, like this only leads to more death.
Mm,
It only leads to more violence. You know, and I I try to see people, no matter who you are, no matter what you're wearing, no matter what background you are. I try to see people like I see myself.
mm-hmm,
You know, and whether that's the officers, whether that's white people, whether that's black people, I try to do that with everybody I meet and everybody I see. And to me, like I said in the video, I cried that Saturday, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
crying because my family is fighting each other. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it sucks when your family is fighting each other and you don't know what to do. You know, you don't know how to stop it. You know, because when people fight, it's like their mind is laser. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like there is really no stopping. You know, so I really wanted. It wasn't really a protest to me. It was more like a sign of unity,
Mm-hmm.
a sign of let's fight this together. Because if we fight this together, that foundation is going to be stronger now. And guess what? Our goal, we're going to reach it even faster now. We're going
Yeah.
to reach that goal even quicker now because guess what? We have more hands on board now.
Yeah.
So that was my whole mindset of doing that protest or the kneel or whatever you want to call it. You know, I just wanted everybody to come together, kneel with each other, and shake hands and lock arms and look at
Yeah.
each other and say, you know, by the end of the day, I take showers like you.
Yeah.
By the end of
Yeah.
the day, I eat food like you. By the end of the day, I gotta use the toilet and do number two like
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody got the same.
like
Yeah.
we do all the same thing. When all of this external factors that blinds us is uncovered, you know, we
Mm-hmm.
all do the same thing by the end of the day. And it's like when we see people, it's like we're in a video game. Like really. And like it's crazy. Like we don't see people for who they are. And like I see people who are so religious, and I'm gonna get a little bit deep now.
All right. I see you.
I see people who are so religious, so spiritual, or whatever their beliefs are. And if you look at all the prophets, whether it's Christianity, Buddhism, whatever, a lot of them believe that you have to unite together to fight a cause.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yep.
and I see people in those categories I talked about that even though they follow those beliefs, they follow those religions, but they don't carry out what those leaders did.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I just want to see if that way would work. You know, I
Yeah.
wanted to go by the steps that was already led before me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, let me not fight the cops. Let me not fight the other protesters, you know, that want to loot. Let me see what real love,
Mm.
like true love, you know,
Okay.
because a lot of love is like fear based now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
a lot of love is I love you, but you're not gonna do what you want to do because I know what's best for you.
Yeah.
You know, but that's not true love. That's fear based love. You know,
Absolutely.
and there's different categories of love, but we ain't gonna get deep in that. You
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I wanted true love, and when you can strip away everything and see people for who they are, and that was my whole point. You know, with kneeling and talking and reaching out my hand because look, I love you because I feel like you are my family because I feel like you are connected with me and through me.
Mm. Yeah. So you want so your goal going out there was to try to connect with the police officers.
Yeah, because even with them, um even though some of them, you know, they can be doing the most, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, but some of them are really just doing their job, literally. You
Yeah.
know, like if you was in their position, you would have been doing the exact same thing. I'm not talking about killing people now.
No,
i'm
you're right.
talking about I'm talking about being on the front lines, you know, just like in Marion Square yesterday when a SWAT team came out to protect Marion Square because the mayor didn't know if protesters were going to, you know, vandalize the monument even more or like start fires. You know, you don't know what's going to happen because it can take
Yeah.
one crazy person and everybody's going to follow that crazy person.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so but like even the SWAT team yesterday, like they were super nice, and I was like, bro, I understand. You're just doing your job, you know?
Yeah.
You're like you got a family to feed as well. You got a life to live as well, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like we see people like they're freaking robots, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like we're not robots, you know,
Yeah.
we're human beings and we have an actual soul,
Yeah.
you know? So like that was just my whole goal.
Do you think that a lot of the protesters are missing the fact that a lot of the police officers are just following orders?
Yes, man. Yes. They really
It's okay to
they
say.
don't even they don't even they're not even like aware of it in
Yeah.
a sense, you know? Like it's just like you're here and you're bad. You know, like you're a cop, especially in the black community. Like if you're a cop, you don't get love.
Yeah.
You don't get no type of love, and no one. And people might hit me for this, but no one ever asks the cops how they feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like it's only about what we feel. You
Yeah.
know, like how
Mm.
do they feel about this too? And maybe if you understand how they feel, maybe we can come together now because now we're understanding each other just a little bit more, and
Yeah.
now we can connect and solve and make solutions towards a better future. But some people they really believe all cops are racist. Like
Mm.
they really believe that. They really
Yeah.
believe all cops are bad, and they really believe that because of how the system is constructed, all cops have to be bad. And
Mm.
I can kind of see, like I understand,
Yeah.
that type of mindset, but you don't know all cops by
Yeah.
the end of the day.
I can understand that for sure.
You can't box people in. And I tell people, just like how some white people box us in, just like how the news box us in, just like how some police officers box us in as black people being thugs, animals, apes, every negative thing, just because of the color of our skin, or just because of how systematic racism and even slavery has mentally, spiritually, and genetically made us like this. We can't do the same thing that they did to us, which is box them in, because
Yeah.
now we're being hypocrites now. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I had a lady that told me about, how women movements, they talk bad about men because men talk bad about them first.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you're not being the bigger person. you know and like
Absolutely.
my thing, one thing I always knew, when I was wrong, I've always apologized to people, even if I was just a hair wrong. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't really wrong, even when I could have just did better. you know
Yeah.
I apologize to people who I've gotten in fights with, people who didn't like me. I've apologized to them, and I told them, you know what, bro, I love you. By the end of the day, I want the best for you. I want you to live your best life. And I've never had anyone reject me when I apologize to them.
Word. That
You
makes
know,
sense. That makes sense.
you know,
So let,
because we all want to do better.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Going back to your protest, during, now the thing I do remember is before your actual part where they ended up arresting you, they had started making an announcement that the you guys are over the time for the protest. The protest was supposed to be over at a specific time, and you guys are
Mhm.
still out there. Um, Knowing that you guys were going to be out there after the protest hours, the allowed hours were what was going through your mind at that point?
See, and that's where my mistake was.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't want to own up to their mistakes, or
Yeah,
what of
yeah.
how they could have handled situations better, because I didn't even know there was a protest time.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah,
I was naive to that, you know
yeah,
so I didn't
yeah,
even know there was a protest time. Maybe people in my circle that I was with knew, maybe the officers knew, other people knew, but I didn't know. I just wanted to make a stand to, help the world move forward you know
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. So you were out there. Whatever was going on, and then you started to make your plea. And
Mhm.
if you guys have not seen this video of this young man and his plea to the police officers, it was very genuine from the heart. I could definitely tell that you were pouring your heart and into to imploring them to join, you and uh, to be a part of something good as opposed to tearing away at the fabric of the community, and I appreciated that greatly. And then they arrested you. What
Yeah.
was that about?
um I thought about it a few times. It could have been multiple factors. Could have been simply the fact that most people want to put in place is that the cop was racist.
Okay.
That's the factor most people want to put in play, because that makes the news just bigger.
Right,
It
right,
like it
right.
just makes the story bigger.
Hmm.
But it also could have been because the looting from last night, and he
Yeah,
didn't want this to carry over to, was it Sunday?
yeah. It was Sunday.
Like
Yeah,
he didn't want that to carry over to Sunday, or whoever he was talking to higher up, didn't want
yeah,
that to carry over to Sunday. He could have been scared and wanted just to protect his family, which
Mm-hmm.
is the police officers, because at that point I had a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
I
I feel
was the
that.
only one speaking. Like everybody just stood still and was like, "Let's see what he does."
Mm.
You know, let's
Yeah,
see what he says. So one wrong move by me, more people could have died that day.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
literally, like more people could have died that day because I could have charged the cops. I could have fought the cops, and because I was the leader at that time, people would have just followed me.
yeah.
You know, which would have made everything
Everything
worse.
worse. Yeah,
Which would have destroyed everything that I stood for. You know, I came here to do a peaceful protest. I'm gonna leave out here with a peaceful protest.
yeah,
You know, I'm not
yeah,
like I don't like when people switch up. You know,
yeah,
like you
yeah,
came here for a certain goal. Let's finish out that goal. Yep, maybe I don't like the outcome totally. You know, but I'm gonna stick to what I said I was gonna do.
mm-hmm.
You know, so I was just like, it's okay if he arrests me, because I knew it was bigger than me being arrested. In a
Yeah,
sense, I knew I had people to protect. I had black people behind me, white people behind me. I had cops in front of me to protect, because like I said just a few seconds ago, I knew that my next move could have been critical.
yeah,
You know, could
yeah,
like it could have made like a Marion Square little war out there. You
yeah,
know, so
yeah,
I knew, look, I'm gonna go to jail, and everything's gonna settle down. And guess what happened? Everything literally settled down.
yeah.
You
It
know,
did.
and then they started playing music. I think I don't know what someone's gonna be some. They started playing what the I don't know what's it called, banjo. I don't even know. See, I'm
Oh
bad.
yeah.
I'm bad with
Okay.
instruments. They started
Yeah.
playing the trump. I don't know what it's called. You know, but they started playing instruments. They started singing songs. You know, and that could have been a whole different outcome. It could have been maybe 5 people died that day, 10 people died that day, and then the news would have made that into an even bigger story. You know,
Right.
what if a cop had died? You know, what if a cop shot someone? You know, what if you know? It could have been a lot of what ifs. So I decided to take all those what ifs with me away.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Did they say anything to you when they took you in, or did it just like, let's go, homie, let's get out of here?
Basically, well, from what I remember, you know, because because you know, when you're on stage, you know, or like playing football or basketball, when
Yeah.
you're in the moment, you
Yeah.
don't really, you know, you're so zoned in, you're not really focused
Yeah.
on like the little details, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe he did say something to me, but I don't know. You know, I was just so focused and zoned into what I was saying.
Word. How did they treat you when they put you like in the paddy wagon or whatever it was? Were they nice, or were they
They were
jerks to you?
they were all pretty nice, for real. Like even the cop that didn't arrest me, but the cop that took me away, we talked about Family Guy, we talked about Naruto anime, I talked about how's the life of being a cop, you know, because I want to know why you're a cop. I want to know why you do the things you do, because now I can understand, and maybe I can see what we can both do to make a peaceful solution out of all of this.
Mm.
You know, so all the cops, you know, you may have some cops, you know, with their tough face, you know, that's a cops with the strict tough faces. You know,
Yeah.
you have those cops too, but all of them were pretty nice. Maybe could have done better with the COVID going on and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
with keeping us more separate and stuff like that too. But as in people talking to us, they talk to us pretty
Yeah, nice.
nice. You know,
That's good.
yeah.
That's really good to hear. I'm really glad to hear that. And I mean, again, like you said, though, I mean, those police officers are out there doing their job. I mean,
Hmm.
they were told to go out there and do their job. I'm pretty sure that was not the best, most optimal opportunity for them to, to do their job, but they do
Hmm.
the job that they're called to do. And that day, at least, I didn't see anything that was nuts that happened. And especially in reaction to what happened the night before. All
Hmm.
right, so from that, you have charges. What were the charges that they charged you with?
Disobeying lawful order. So I guess because of the curfew you said and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and they told us to move, and we did. And sorry, and we didn't move. So I guess they charged me and the other people with disobeying lawful order.
Okay. All right. And after that, the video goes out and then it
I'm in jail
blows.
cell. I'm
You
in
in a
jail
jail
cell. Look,
cell.
man, I'm in jail cell. Look, I'm in jail cell, and like people don't understand that either. And like they're like, why aren't you just so mad? Why
Yeah.
are you just so frustrated? And maybe because my wife says I'm quote unquote different.
Uh-huh.
When I look at situations, I try to look at it from many different factors.
Yeah.
I try to look at it from many different, which what you would call perspectives. You
Uh-huh.
know, so me sitting in jail cell, I was really I wonder what people be doing in here. You know,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
my mentality. Thinking, yeah, maybe it sucks and I'm in here, but I'm trying to understand the life of being an inmate. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how like I'm lucky to be in here for 12 hours.
Yeah. They
You
took your
know, like
shoestrings and
people.
stuff?
No, no, no. They didn't take
Oh,
our
what? Okay.
shoestrings. No. So
Cool.
I had my clothes on. You know, I don't know if that was mandatory practice or not, but we wasn't gonna stay there for more than a day.
Right.
I think they really arrested us because they thought we could have been the leaders that turned into looters.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they just wanted us to not be on the streets at nighttime
Yeah.
because they already
Word.
saw what happened before. That from what I've analyzed and what I've thought about over the days, that's really what I believe. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so just sitting in jail, so I was just like, wow, this urinal is like yellow, man, you
Yeah.
know, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how do people stay here for 20, 10, 30, 50 years? And
Yeah.
sometimes they don't even do half the stuff I did, you
Right.
know, and
Right.
sometimes they don't do nothing at all. They get locked up for all their life for no reason. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what's going through my mind. And I'm like, wow, I am so lucky to only be in here for 12, 14 hours. People
Mm-hmm.
in here living the prison life like it's their lifestyle,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is what hurt me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's where I get emotional. That is where I get mad. You know, not that I'm being locked up, but people staying here for a numerous amount of years and they shouldn't have even been in the place in
In
the
the
first
first
place,
place.
or they
Yeah.
shouldn't have gotten the amount of time they got. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. For sure. So when you got in the morning, right? It was like early in the morning you got out.
4 o'clock,
Oh,
4 o'clock in the morning.
okay. So when did you find out about the video?
Oh well, I was in jail, so can we take it back a little bit? I was in jail,
All right.
so and like just another perspective thing. I met okay, so I'm a dancer as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I was dancing. I was think about designing shoes. I was doing my like do rag business. So I had a whole life before this, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be one of the best dancers ever, and to me, and I still want to be one of the best dancers ever to me,
Yeah.
because that's my first gift. My first gift is dancing. My second gift is speaking per se, and then
Yeah.
it seems like people only want me to do my second gift, and I don't really sit well with it because dancing is my ultimate
You
form
love
of
dancing. Yeah.
expression.
Yeah.
So what happened was I met a person who is a he's like a graphic designer, and he also like edit videos and stuff like that. So I'm like, wow, God, look at you, God. You done
Yeah.
set me up with a person that I've been looking for months to
Mm-hmm.
try to record me dancing, to try to help me with my do rag business and with my pictures. So that perspective plays into my mind. And I'm like, this is actually an opportunity. This is actually a learning lesson. And with every situation, I try to take from the good, and I also try to take from the bad, because I know that I can learn a lot from the good, but I also know if I really look at it and analyze it and pay attention to it, I can learn a
Mm-hmm.
lot from the bad as well.
Yeah.
And just sitting in my jail cell, and I'm thinking about, wow, I didn't make no impact on the world. I'm just like, I probably got a hundred views, maybe 500, 1,000 if
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But ain't like it's nothing that's gonna be nothing to talk about.
Right.
And
Right.
then I come out of the jail at 4 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock, and then people are just blowing up my phone. Like my family's telling me, "Hey, your video is getting attention, is getting shared." But it didn't. I don't think it even reached 1 million at that point. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until I fell asleep and woke up the next day, and it was just like, "Can someone take my phone away from me? Because
Wow.
I don't want this no more."
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, because it was just my phone was just ding 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 ding
Mm-hmm.
ding ding, like 24 hours dinging like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is actually like, it's cool at first, but after that first week, it's actually really annoying. Like, people don't realize that, like, people might call me a local celebrity or a celebrity or leader or next MLK, whatever you want to put what box you want to put me in. But that fame life, you gotta be tough to
Yeah.
handle that.
Yeah.
You gotta have some tough skin. You
Yeah.
know, you gotta have a tough mind. You have to have a tough spirit, because what it feels like is people just pulling you and poking you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what it
Yeah.
feels like. You know,
Yep.
and I'm I'm an introvert when I'm by myself. You know, and wanting to grow, and
Yep.
I'm an extrovert when I want to express myself, like speaking, or when I'm out in public, or when I'm dancing. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but when I can never be an introvert anymore and work on my own personal growth and my boring stuff I do every day, which I
Mm-hmm.
think makes me a better person, you know, and actually makes me happy, then that really gets to me. And I'm like, okay, look, we got to do something about this, because this ain't
Right.
going to work. Me doing what everybody wants me to do just for some fame, you know,
Uh-huh.
because for me, it was never about fame. You
Right.
know, for me, I really wanted all my family to come together and build this house better than it has ever been built before. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So like you were more turned off by the amount of attention that you got from it than it like excited you. Because a lot of people be like, "Yo, man, I'm viral.
No,
I did that."
I didn't care. I didn't care. I want to say I didn't care one bit, but that wasn't on my mind. On my mind was like, well, someone wants to invite me to dinner at 10 o'clock. We don't get done until 12 o'clock, and I gotta wake up at 4 o'clock to meditate. You know, like how
Yeah.
the heck I don't have enough hours to sleep. You know,
Yeah.
like I want to eat brown rice and broccoli and asparagus and
Yeah.
some wild caught salmon, and
Uh-huh.
people invite me to all these places that just a bunch of burgers and fries and a bunch of unhealthy stuff, because I really have high standards of the way I live, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like I couldn't live up to those standards anymore. I couldn't live the life I wanted to live anymore, because everybody just wanted me to do what they wanted to do. And at the same time, I'm trying to make connections with people. So it's like, do I just make connections with people and do that? Or do I just be like, you know what? Look, y'all got to leave me alone, because,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, so, but what I realized is that I got to have a balance. And what I realized, I just can't have all of my cake, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, like I like that's like I had to sacrifice, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and that was the real journey and struggle and growth for me, was learning how to sacrifice my time for other people's time, you
Yep.
know, because I never had to do that before, because I was what you would call a regular person. I was called a nobody, you know, so
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
had to deal with that before. And I grew up by myself. You know, I have a half sister and I have a little brother who's 3 right now, 2 or 3 right now. I forgot. I should know that. But you know, I grew up by myself. You
Uh-huh.
know, so I never
Yes.
had to sacrifice time like that. So
Yeah.
it was like so that part was just mentally. I had to challenge myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. So like I remember when I reached out to you originally, and that day,
Mhm.
you know, like we were supposed to do this interview. What, 2 weeks ago? Was it a week
Yeah,
ago? 2 weeks ago?
and look. I apologize.
My
Everybody who's
guy.
watching now, I just want to say I sincerely apologize.
Nah.
When life's coming at you that
Yes.
fast, you don't know what the right move is to make.
Yeah.
You know,
But
and
what?
people are just telling you what the right move is.
Right. But what I tell you that night, I said it's gonna be a whole lot of people pulling on you. Make sure you
Yeah,
protecting your peace, protect your
yeah,
energy, because it's gonna be a whole lot of people that want a piece of you, man. And
yeah.
the thing that you said that I really loved hearing you say is that you're trying to make connections,
Mm-hmm.
because you were out there for a reason. You were out there for a purpose. Your approach to it was definitely different than a lot of people who went out there for whatever reason. And I'm not going to bash anybody for
Mm-hmm.
their individual reasons for going out there, but
Yeah.
you went out there with a very specific purpose. And you walked away from that not knowing how the video, quote unquote, was going to go, but you
Mm-hmm.
walked away feeling like a failure because you weren't able to make that connection that you wanted to make. But
Yeah.
after that, you allowed yourself to go into that and realize, okay, there's an opportunity here for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. But I also love that you said, well, when am I going to meditate? When am I going to
Yeah.
find my time for myself? When am I going to find time to eat the way I need to eat? What
Yeah.
have you figured out how to say no yet?
In a sense, yeah. But at the same time, it's like you want to pick the best opportunity, you know, but you don't know what the best opportunity is, you know. So what I realize and what I also see other people do who are very successful, um, they try to have all the opportunities.
Okay.
You know, they want it all. And what I realized, if I want to maintain my peace, maintain my happiness, I gotta miss out on some.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like, and I realize I don't want all the opportunities. I don't
No.
care about having all the opportunities. Like,
Right.
that's not who I am. I
Yeah.
I really care about um my happiness and my peace and my personal growth and all. Oh shoot, my headphones not flew.
You good.
And all the areas of my life, and I can't have all these opportunities if I want to be that person. So
Yeah.
then I really had to sit down, because what I do is I sit down and I really have conversation with myself, and I had to sit down and talk to myself, and I had to be like, gee, you don't care about having every opportunity that comes, like,
Yeah.
it's okay if you miss opportunities. And
Yeah.
people in the world of success, A-list celebrities and stuff like that, I see them and I see how some of them, they just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to be who you are, you got to miss out on some. You can't have all the cake now.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
you can't have it all.
Yeah. So speaking of A-list celebrities, one very, very big A-list celebrity. If my name was attached to Jay-Z in any way, shape, form, or fashion, people who know me know how I feel about Jay-Z.
Mhm.
And Jay-Z personally reached out to the city of Charleston to make sure that
Mhm.
they dropped your charges. First of all, what did it feel like hearing that call was made for you? And two, did you get to speak to Jay-Z or his people?
No, I didn't get to speak to him. Maybe I might speak to him with my attorney that I have now, and set up something, because he is supporting me and stuff like that. But I haven't spoken to him yet. But the whole Jay-Z thing, my wife, people calling my phone, my mom texting my phone, and they're like, "Guess what happened? Guess what happened?" And I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, "What happened?" Because at this point, it's about a week and a half, 2 weeks into this, and I'm just like, "What happened now? Can I just get a break from all this?"
yeah, yeah,
And then they're like, "Jay-Z just shout out to you, and he wants to like drop all the charges in like Rock Nation," and I'm just like, "Cool."
yeah. Wow. I
I'm
would
just
have been
like,
nuts. You
I'm just like,
at 23,
cool.
at 23, I would have, dude, I might have ran a marathon running around my neighborhood. I might have ran
Yeah.
26.2 miles running around
Mhm.
my neighborhood just in my excitement, just because I'm such a Jay-Z fan. Now you're 23, so you
Yeah.
may not be that big of a Jay-Z fan. But
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
oh my God. You couldn't
Yeah.
tell me
Like,
nothing.
yeah. Like, I just want to say thank you, Jay-Z, for all your love and support. I really appreciate it. And I am a Jay-Z fan. Probably not as big as you, because we grew up in different times as
Right,
well.
right, right,
But
right.
even if it was like somebody that I really like aren't is inspired by, I don't know, just how I am. I'm a very, like, I can be very, upbeat going, but my natural state is more, I'm a slow walker.
Mm-hmm.
I try to sometimes talk slow. I try to be calm and relax, but when it
Yeah.
comes to dancing, I'm a whole different beast now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like in my like normal state, I'm just like very calm. So it's just like when Jay-Z shouted out to me and wants to help me and stuff like that, it was just like cool. And I might have said wow, but my wife's like, "You're not more excited than this?" And I'm just like, I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to work through all this. I'm still trying to figure out if Jay-Z made my situation worse now. you know,
Yeah. Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
feel you.
saying?
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Okay. All
I'm
right.
trying to figure out that, man. I'm trying to figure out now. Now more news reporters gonna hit my phone. Now, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now more
Like
people gonna
Jay-Z
blow
wants to
me
talk
up.
to this guy. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
I can
saying?
see that.
So like in my mind automatically switches to how am I gonna navigate through this now?
Yeah.
Because Jay-Z, you want to talk about A-list? He's he's
He's
he's
he's
the top. You know?
he's the list.
Yeah, so
He's the
like
list.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna deal with all these people who are gonna come at me now, just because Jay-Z said my name or Rock Nation said my name, and how I'm
Yeah.
gonna manage all these people, and how I'm gonna deal with all the backlash, how I'm gonna deal with all the jealousy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still
Yeah.
happy, but I
Yeah.
also know there's a real business side of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a
Yep.
real business side of this, and I understand. Well, I understood that, and I knew that.
Yeah. 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 That's really good, man. That response is amazing. Like your maturity at 23 is really good, man. And people will tell you, you know, I know you're like, yeah, I'm a grizzled old 23 years old, dude. If I could explain to you, like, shoot, I'm 38 now, right? I'm
Dang, you
38.
look good.
Hey man, God is good, man. Hey, turn my hat backwards a little bit. You know, black don't crack.
Uh-huh.
But
That was your accent.
but
You hell.
but seriously, man, like you are dealing with this in a way that is so beyond your years. And that's a
Mhm.
nuts thing to say, but trust me when I tell you there are so many people at 23 years old that would get that kind of exposure and lose their minds. Like would lose their minds. So I want to commend you for that. I do have some comments in the comment section. I want to make sure I read because there's a lot of comments, and I'll make sure I read them. If you do have comments or questions, please add them into the comment section. Also, just to reset, this is Real Talk with Rajan. Thank you all for watching. Jay-Z, if you are watching, my number, just inbox me. So
You're not
just
playing no
if you
games.
watching, yo, real talk Rajan at gmail.com. If you watching, man. But I will be excited. But yeah, so this is Real Talk with Rajan. We do this every Wednesday night, local celebrity spotlight. We are interviewing the illustrious Mr. G. Jordan, actually the humble Mr. G. Jordan. I don't even want to call him the illustrious because he's such a humble young man. And I know the stock that he comes from a good family and good people. So I wanted to make sure that I shouted everybody out. Shout out to all the Ravenels. Shout out to Trail. Shout out to Jalita. All of them. So yeah. So you got some comments. One says more mature and grown up than half the 23-year-olds I deal with in the military. Shout out to Ryan Claymore. That's my guy. Appreciate you, man. Montreal said when he was 23, he was young and dumb. You should have seen him at 23. Your mom said, I will not
Oh
even
Lord.
I will not even share where I was on my mindset at 23. Yeah, man. We as parents, we can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me go
And
down.
like people can't fathom that I got married at 21.
Dude, I got married at 19.
Oh, I can't fathom that.
I got married.
I can't fathom that.
I got married 14 days after graduation of high school. Dead
You
serious.
wasn't playing no games.
I had extenuating circumstances, bro. Extenuating circumstances. Hey, but it was good though. I mean, it worked out. It ended up working out long term. I don't know you, but you are one smart young man, and may God continue to bless you. We need more young men like you. Yes, sir. Damon Fordham, one of my mentors, says, I appreciate this opportunity for the world to hear the real you. Blessed as you are, the gift of articulation for sane people everywhere. You're the gift of articulation for
He always says
everywhere.
that.
He always says that. He's nuts. I love Mr. Damon. Sorry, Professor Fordham. I will continue. I will say publicly here what I told you privately. I may be your elder, but you are my hero for being yourself and inspiring young people at the same time. Absolutely true. Daniel Laurie, my guy. He says, let him know he's a big inspiration to me. Carolina Strong. It's a Carolina Strong. Now we have a question from Jaden James, who's my young niece. Shout out to Niecy J. I see you. She says, question for G. When you were at the event for the removal of the John C. Calhoun monument on the 17th, at the end of the event, you went up to the podium to speak, but the crowd was a little loud. You then asked why people weren't paying attention. The live feed I was watching ended before you could speak. I wanted to know, what did you have to say at that moment?
I just wanted to tell people there, the same thing I've been preaching is that if we really want to change the world, the only way we can do it is if we do it together. And we have to love, respect, communicate, and understand each other if we really want to unite. You know, like we can't have this just walking into Walmart nowadays. It's not the same. It's not the same energy. People don't even look at you no more. You know, white people don't look at black people. Black people don't look at white people. Black people don't look at black people. We're not even looking at each other no more, you know, because of all this war. Like, this is war. This is war. When one side is here and one side is here, and they don't want to resolve any of their conflicts with each other and just want to be egotistical and be hypocritical towards the situation. And that is what we're doing. You know, our pride and our ego is taking the best of us, and we're judging everybody. We're judging everybody when we can commit the same sins, when we did the same thing, do the same thing, or might do the same thing. You know, so like I just wanted to tell people that, look, I am here for you. Look, I'm not trying to be your leader. I'm not trying to be your Martin Luther King. I'm not trying to be your activist. You know, I'm just trying to be me. what is me? I'm just trying to be G Jordan, aka Pharaoh Almighty.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
best version of himself.
Yeah.
That's what that means to me. I'm just trying to be me, and I just want to walk with you. So just allow me to walk with you because I'm pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty wise. I'm pretty humble. I'm pretty genuine person. Like if you walk with me and you allow me to walk with you, I'm gonna help you as much as I can. To get
Yeah.
to the destination you want to go.
Yeah.
Especially if we all want the same destination. And what is that? That's equality. That's
Yeah.
justice. That's happiness. That's peace. We all want that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
we can't do that if we at war with everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some people they really think they can talk and listen at the same time. And
You
I'm
can't.
like, wow, and I'm like, wow, you're a god. You know, like you're a god. You can do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's the impossible for me. So if we came and talk and listen, how in the world we gonna fight and listen?
Yeah. Yeah.
How?
Indeed. Indeed.
That's so
Indeed.
much more movements and actions, and like if you can fight and listen, look, look, I should just bow down to you. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you doing something that I think can never ever be done. You
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and like I just wanted to tell like even the processors there that like I love them and I understand their pain. And I also want to tell them and like they didn't really just like the lady said, they didn't really let me finish my conversation and my speech and what I was gonna say. But I want to say to them that yeah, this statue it needs to be gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be relocated to like another place in Charleston.
Hmm.
Maybe it could be relocated where the history is still taught because we still need history now.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
still need
Yes.
the good and
Still got to
bad
tell
in
the story.
history.
Yeah.
We can't just eliminate all the bad in history
Yeah.
because we're gonna be naive to it now. We're
Yeah.
gonna be ignorant to it now. Like
Yeah.
we gotta still learn the history because that's how we make better decisions moving forward. So I know you want to throw all the history in a hole in a river, but look, if you do that, you are going to lose knowledge automatically because it's going
Mm.
to be gone forever. But I
Yeah.
am here with you with this statue, with this racist statue. I'm here with you when I grew up in North Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm walking on the Wayland down the street from the county jail I got arrested in, and police officers are following me just because I'm a black man and I look suspect. I,
Hmm.
I I hear you when I'm in my higher class white older neighborhood that I live in now, and I'm just trying to be me and dance and walk past people, and people look at me with all faces and all eyes, or they might cross the street and walk past me and cross the street again, and I'm just like, how more disrespectful could you be?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm here for you when people make fun of me because I'm black.
Mm.
When people make fun of me because I'm brown skinned. Like I'm here for you when teachers think I'm stupid just because I'm black.
Hmm.
I'm here for you when even black on black crime, and there's white on white crime as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
y'all keep putting black on black crime in a box. There's crime on crime with every goddamn race.
Yeah.
Look at the Chinese people
Yeah.
hundreds of years ago. They were way worse than they would literally cut your head off.
Mm.
And they were the same people.
Hmm.
I'm here for you when they put black people in such a tight box that we can't breathe. I can't breathe. George Floyd,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they put us in such a box where we can't breathe,
Yeah. I
and it
agree.
feels like we're suffocating, and it's a large part to do of this foundation of this system. Like
Hmm.
we need to make a new system. This system was built on terror, on
Mm.
destruction, on genocide, on kidnapping. It
Yeah.
was built on this. So you trying to change a system when the foundation was this? No, we need to create a whole new system
Yeah.
and wipe it clean and make it even more detailed. Like
Yeah.
I think of stuff with a lot of imagery.
Hmm.
So for me, this house is like broken,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
need to build the house. And even still, it won't be the perfect house. But guess what? Those small little details in them house, we can
Hmm.
fix. But if you don't fix those small details, if you don't fix those small holes, there's gonna be holes all over the house.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Your house gonna look like downtown Charleston Road, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
potholes everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a whole mess, you know,
Yeah.
and we don't want that.
Absolutely.
So that
Absolutely.
was my message to them.
Somehow you got muted. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, but like as I said, I want to say a couple other stuff to them as well, but they were just so angry, they were just so frustrated, and I also wanted to tell them, look, even though I shook hands with a cop, I'm here for you. You
Yeah.
know, I'm all about unity. That was my first message for the global video. You know,
Yeah.
was about unity. You know, I
Yeah.
never strayed away from my thesis.
Yeah.
You know, I never strayed away from it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but look, I'm here for you, but also I gotta be here for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because they need help as well, whether that's understanding, whether they need to learn something, whether they're not aware of something. You know, I can't just help one side and then the other side is unaware, and the other side doesn't know nothing, or the other side needs help but can't understand, and you expect us to live in this utopia world. It's not going to work out. You know, you like, yes, we're going to help the Black Lives Matter more because that's what we do when we're family. We
Mm.
help the ones that's hurting more. You know, we help those people first, you know,
Yeah.
and then we can help the next person, and then help the next person, and then help the next person, you know. But this hashtag Black Lives Matter, this hashtag All Lives Matter, it's not even hashtags anymore. It's just competition now to which hashtag is better. It's
Mm-hmm.
a war of hashtags now, you know,
Yeah.
and this was never
Yeah.
how it was intended to be. But when one side becomes competitive, then it automatically lures the other side to maybe think about being a little bit more competitive now too. And I think that's what happened with the Black Lives Matter and the All Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter was never about competition. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it was never about saying your life doesn't matter. It was just about we're
Yeah.
hurting, and we need your help. Plain and simple. Period. You know. And
Yeah.
then the All Lives Matter came in, was like, no, you might be disrespecting us, you know, because my life matters too. And, you know, and it turned into a competition. Once that happened, it turned into an automatic competition. And then on the Black Lives Matter came and was like, no, we're not saying that. And then it's just back and forth. And it's just like, man, look, man, this is not the way. This
Yeah.
is not the way.
So, I want to, because I see we got a few comments. A few comments just came in, and I'm not really gonna highlight those. But let's just say that everybody doesn't agree with your message, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure you know this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What I wanna ask you this,
Let
and
me get a
I just
charger
finished
real quick.
I just finished reading a book. Yeah, I just finished reading a book called Stamped, by
Mhm.
Ibram X Kendi,
Mhm.
and it talks about the history of African Americans in our country from a standpoint of three different types of people, right? So there's separatists who are racist, there's
Mhm.
assimilationists who he calls cowards, and then he has anti-racists who are the people who are really going to be able to make a difference in the world because they believe that African Americans don't need Caucasian approval to be able to move forward as a people. So
Yeah.
it's a really good book. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's an amazing. I did the audio book. It's only 4 hours
Mhm.
long, so it's really good. And if you're interested in it, let me know and I'll send it to you. But
Okay.
what do you think that you fall that people are disagreeing with your message because they believe that you're an assimilationist and that you want to appease Caucasians as opposed to purely standing for black people?
Can you say that one more time?
So do you think, just so we can get this point out there, do you think that the people who disagree with you because of the fact that they believe you to be an assimilationist and you want to like appease white people than for you to be anti-racist and just stand for black people?
Basically, I'm what you would call a bootlicker, or a cop licker in a sense,
Okay.
right? Okay. Basically, yeah. And like that's what some people have told me in the crowd yesterday with the lady that said about I didn't really get to talk and stuff like that. I totally understand. Look, I lived in the hood. I totally understand how some black people think about white people and about joining white people or joining their business, or I totally understand. But is that the way? Is that the way towards a better future? You
Mm,
know? Is that the
yeah.
way towards a different future for your kids? You know? Like they can if you work with another race, that you're automatically a bootlicker. You know, because that doesn't seem like love and peace to me. That
Yeah.
seems like hate. You know, and love over hate for me conquers all.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
and there are white people that want to help us. And like, you know what's crazy? With most of these protests, guess who it is? White people.
Mm.
White
True.
people, white people, white people, white people. And like, I'm glad as well. But at the same time, I'm so disappointed because we talk on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, all this stuff, but we're never here. You know, and like black people say, oh, well, y'all should help the protests, or y'all should help the government, or y'all should help the city or whatever. How come you don't help? You
Mm.
know, you could be the change. You know, don't say you want someone else to be the change when you want to be
Yeah.
the change, but you don't put any action towards being that change.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
know,
think I
and it's
definitely, yeah. No, I mean,
and
and
like it's
I'm sorry, I didn't
what?
mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
Listen, that's okay.
No,
You can go. You
I just wanted you to, I wanted you to be able to respond to that because I know just like anytime you start to get positive attention, there's gonna be some negative attention. Um, and I want you to always understand that with any criticism, you're the type of person, you're a listener. I can tell that you're a listener.
yeah.
Chew up the meat, spit out the bones.
Mm.
Learn what there is to learn, and then go about your way. The people whose minds that you're not going to change about you, you're not going to change their minds,
Yeah,
right?
you're not.
So if you look at something that you're doing and you say, I think that what I'm doing is the right thing to do and it's the right way to do it, then you go about it and you do it the best way you possibly can. If you look in the mirror and you say, the way I'm doing things bothers me, then you change it. That's my
Yeah.
hold on one second. Hey, mute your device and unmute it. Because it seems like you got some feedback. Microphone
Is that
check.
good?
Microphone check.
It
Ah.
it it, it might be because I took my headphones out because I had to charge my phone.
Okay. All right. So just turn your phone down some.
Okay, turn down.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That is still, hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We having some technical difficulties for the feedback. Oh man.
Yeah, let me see if I can go on my computer real quick.
Yeah. Just go ahead. Just go out and go to your computer, click on the link, and then come back in. And I'll just talk to the people until you come back.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, uh I definitely want to say this. One, Real Talk Rajan has a goal of shining a light on the great people doing great things in the community. And it's important that we understand that every person in the community is not going to agree on everything. We're not. Um one way or the other, there will always be people that feel a certain way about the way they do things. I do a lot in the community. And even with the things that I do in the community, which I don't really think that you can have a negative outlook on, there are people who do, right? At the end of the day, I have to look in the mirror at myself and decide, am I doing what I think is best? This young man is doing what he thinks is best. Now, you may feel like you would do it differently, and that's great. That's awesome. I hope that you continue to push your agenda forward the best way that you possibly can. And I'm not going to say whether I agree or I disagree with the young man with his methods. What I will say is that the young man took a stand, and the young man is standing on the things that he believes in. I don't know what else we can ask of our young people. I don't know what else we can ask of our young people than for them to believe in something and for them to stand on something. Shoot, a year ago, 2 years ago, we was worrying about this generation eating Tide Pods. We were worried about them. And now people, much like, and I'm sure Chelsea Jacobs, I don't know you personally. I hope that you're still watching. If you're not, God bless you. But your generation, that generation is going to change the world. Y'all are changing the world right now. And it's because there's a multitude of opinions, there's a multitude of thought processes that are contributing to this discussion. So he's back. You're back. I can't hear you now. All right.
You hear me now?
Now I hear you. Yes.
I gotta take it out then. Gotta take it out. Okay.
Microphone.
Yeah, sorry everybody. I didn't know it was gonna be that long. My phone wasn't keeping up.
No problem, man. No problem. So yeah, so what I was saying, and I wanted to make sure, and I'm glad we're having this discussion because one, I love who you are. Like I just do. And I support you. I support you whether I agree with the methods or not.
Mhm.
I agree, and I said this while you were off. I love the fact that you have decided to take a stand. And your stand is your stand.
Mhm.
Period. Your stand is your stand. You're not trying to be nobody's leader. You said that earlier. You're not speaking for the black community. You're speaking for yourself. No. You're speaking for G. Jordan. You're speaking for Pharaoh Almighty. He said that. He said that. So, I mean, he's not out here saying, hey, guys, follow me and while I lead you down the path of righteousness, or you haven't said anything like that. He said, this is how I feel. This is what I did. And this is how people reacted.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You and your approach is you and your approach. And like I told you, when you look in the mirror, you ask yourself one question. Am I doing things that I am proud of doing?
Yep.
Am I doing things that when I wake up in the morning, when I look in the mirror, I like the person that's looking back at me?
Mm-hmm.
That's my compass. That's my whole compass. If I'm doing something, everything from my show to my activities in the community, to my job, to the way I raise my children, to the way I treat my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look myself in the mirror and am I happy with the person that I see? Mm-hmm. If you do that, you're happy, then I'm happy for you. And that's to anybody. That's to anybody. It's not to judge this young man because we would have done it differently. Because you still have an opportunity to do it differently, believe it or not. No, I'm not talking about you, G.
Yeah.
I'm talking about community.
Mm-hmm.
We all have the opportunity to do things the right way that we think is the right way to do them.
Yeah, there is no one answer.
Yeah. There's no silver bullet for this thing. The change that's happening is because it's coming from so many different angles. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, we all want the same thing. Yeah. We all want freedom. We all want liberation. We all want equality. We all want equity. We all want the world to be free of racism, all its forms. Now, there are people who are not for that, and those people get a different show. I'm not going to waste your show on that. I'm not going to waste your show on that, my brother. Mm-hmm. You spoke about the monuments coming down, so you definitely agree that the monuments should come down?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of negative energy on that monument, you know. And I'm not sure, but it was put up 20 years ago. Is that correct?
Which one?
That monument in Marion Square?
No, so the monument in Marion Square has been up, I think, 128 years.
120.
Law, the Heritage Act law has been in place since 2000, the year 2000.
Okay, that.
And that law was put in place because specifically to protect Confederate monuments. Okay. It was a law that was put in place to stop he said for 1886. Thank you, Professor Fordham. Mm-hmm. That law was put in place to protect Confederate monuments because of some other stuff that was going on. 1887. We trust you, Professor Fordham. Thank you.
We can trust you. Look, I'm gonna admit when I don't know something, you know, because that's all. Look, tell me because that makes me smarter, you know. But
that's how we grow.
Gotta get that ego out of you, though.
That's how we grow, bro. That is how we grow. That is how we grow every single day. Trust me. Mm-hmm. You will not get everything right. Like you said, what'd you tell me earlier? You were young and dumb.
Young and dumb, yeah.
you were doing 19, young and dumb. So shoot, at 23, my brother, like 23, man. I love who you are. Where does this thing go long term for you, my brother?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been conflicted. Like I said before this, I was gonna go straight. I was gonna dance my way to the top. You know, and then you know, I still want to be a motivational speaker, but
people don't usually, well, people usually do that around 30, usually maybe 35,
Don't sell
right?
yourself short.
Yeah. They usually do it around that age. So I was like, I'm gonna dance first, and then I'm gonna ease into, motivational speaking, and like that could be my like long term, because I'm not gonna be physically doing anything
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hinder my body, But now it's just like, hey, motivational speaking is right now, and I'm just like, hold on for a second. I want to dance, I wanted to like do what I wanted to do first, and it's just like the world wants me to do something else. And it's just like, do I dive all in? Do I not dive all in? Do I try to balance it out? Would I be happy if I balance it out? And like that's the big thing for me. It's like people want me to be this new leader, and I don't mind being it. But if I lose myself in the process of trying to help people or save the world, quote unquote, is it really worth it if I lose myself?
It's not.
So like that's my big question that I ask myself every day. Is it worth it if I lose myself trying to solve everything and solve other people's problems and solve the world's problem, because I don't want to lose myself. I don't want to lose the happiness. I don't want to lose that peace. I don't want to lose that peak state of mind.
Yeah,
So I've,
absolutely.
I've been battling the dancing ain't going nowhere. So that's just who I am. But it's just that motivation and that podcasting, and like I do want to do it, but I don't want to go deep into the hole on accident, because I
Yeah.
don't have mentors like that. I have a couple, but I don't have mentors for really the areas I want to go with the podcast that will help me stay on track, and you know what I'm saying, like do stuff
So,
like that.
so I'm gonna pause you right there.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna pause you right there because you got one.
Uh-huh.
All right. Believe that. Whatever you need is done.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that? I'm not really anybody important. I ain't nobody special. I'm just a dude with a microphone and a camera. But if there's anything that you need in that regard as it pertains to preparing yourself, or even if you just need somebody to just like unload on, I'm going to give you my number. You call me, you text me, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this world, there will be people who are sent to build you, and the way they're going to build you is by trying to tear you down. Do you understand me? And
Yeah.
you're going to need to surround yourself with positive people. Mentors is a great word.
Mm-hmm.
People who are willing to sit on the phone and listen to you vent. I have several of them
Yeah.
myself. I surround myself. That's how I stay positive. Is because
Mm-hmm.
when you get that negative energy coming in, you
Yeah.
need positive energy to help you, to help lift you up. Because if not, you're gonna feel beat down by the world
Yeah.
by yourself. And as much as your wife loves you, she doesn't know what it's like to be a black man in America.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't. She can be a wonderful woman, and
Yeah.
women support. My wife supports me the nothing out of me, and I love my wife to death for it. But I also have my brothers that I know I can reach out to, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that's pulling on you. A lot of people telling you, "Hey, I'm gonna be there." I can tell you one thing about Rajon for sure. If you call me, I'm gonna pick up. So you definitely have a mentor. So don't worry about that ever.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. That's you. Whatever you need, you got for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Let me see. Question: what does the true meaning of an activist look like? Are you asking him or are you asking me? Because I want to make sure if you asking him, I want him to answer for himself. If you asking me, I can give you a totally different answer. I could also tell you why I don't call myself an activist, but that's a whole other thing for another day. And do you consider yourself an activist?
I do not.
All right, let me take that off your banner because I don't want people to. All right, I got you. Let me
I
fix
mean,
that for you real quick.
I don't mind it being there, but I think people they get too deep into it per se,
Uh-huh.
and like I said, they box themselves into that category only, and
Yeah,
like that's not all of who I am. So that might be a symptom of who I am,
yeah,
but that's not who I am.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
rather call myself like an artist. You
Okay,
know,
I love
like
that.
that's a
I
better
love that.
word for me. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but for somebody else, activist might be a better word. But for me, that's more of a symptom. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. So when I think about the word activist, right? I think about I know activists. I know people who when it goes down their front lines every single time.
Yeah,
I have some friends that I know are straight up. I'm
yeah.
out here for
Every
all of
day,
the smoke
every day.
all the time.
I'm not like
If
that.
nah,
No.
nah. Rajon, I consider myself someone who works in the community.
Mhm.
I consider myself a community worker. I consider myself a community servant. A lot of things. I never call myself an activist, though a lot of people who I work with are activists. A lot of people who I do work with, I have done lots of work with activists, but I'm not going to be frontline at anybody's protest. I'm just not. I will join your protest if COVID-19 is not going on, but I'm not going to be front lines. And I have too much respect for people who are out there on the front lines every single time something happens, not just when it's hot. Because I've seen for all this, and I want to say this really quickly, G, for all of this talk about all these activists, I done seen a whole lot of activist protests with like 4 or 5 people out there. My homeboy, now I guess I'll go ahead and use his name. My homeboy Elvin, my homeboy Shakim, Elvin will drive. Elvin will find out about something going on in Georgia and drive all the way to Georgia to protest.
Yeah, see, like
that ain't me.
And like protest with just a few people, right?
Yeah, like see, 10 people out there.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I'm that to that extent of activist because I know what a true activist is.
Yeah.
So you call me an activist, but I'm not a true activist, because I know that there's more to me than that. There's so much more that I want to do as well than just being an activist. Because when you're an activist, you're in that whole.
You in it. Yeah, man, you in it.
I'm still 23. I might be an activist a year from now. You never know. I might be activist.
You might become a professional activist.
Now. But now I'm still trying to find myself.
What I would tell you is this, and we're gonna start to wrap. But what I want to tell you is this: whatever you love to do, do it. You said something earlier. You said people want you to become this thing. And it's not what's in your heart. No, I'm not saying anything wrong with that at all. I just told you that some of my closest friends are activists. A lot of my closest friends are activists, and I love what they do. I just said that I don't do it. I'm not that guy. I will support them in all their endeavors. I do what I do in the community. I know lots of great activists. I'm not an activist. So I want to make sure I clear that up.
I'm more of a speaker than an activist. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm more of a guy who will speak to people, but not be out there every single day, all day.
I know people that's out there. Like people, because and again, it's a respect thing. Like we're saying, like I have tremendous respect for the people who are out there. Like my dude Shakim, my guy Shakim, out there at the bullhorn. If you want somebody with a bullhorn, all right, okay.
I don't got no bullhorn, man.
That's my guy, and these are my people. All right, so you Google it. That's all you got.
Yeah.
But what I was telling you is this: whatever you love doing, you do that. If you want to dance, you dance. If you want to speak, you speak. If you want to become a teacher, become a teacher. Whatever it is that you want to do, you do it, because the things that you love to do are the things that you're going to do the best.
Exactly.
The things that's on your heart to do are the things that you're going to be most impactful with. You went out, and like you said, even if you're not an activist, you went out and you made that cry to the police department for them to hear you and for them to feel your pain and let them know that you feel their pain. Those are the words I heard you say. I feel your pain. I hear you. I see you. I feel you. You tried to make your message present to them, even though they were out there to do a job, and chances are they probably didn't care what nothing you were saying.
Yeah.
But to you felt like that's what you needed to do. And look what came of it.
That's the speaker in me.
That's the speaker.
It's partially activist moment,
Yeah.
I think people tied it, I'm sorry about table, but people tied it to me being a strong activist. But really, I was just being using my gift of speaking. Not my gift of being an activist. It just kind of merged with it,
Yeah. Well, I love it, bro. I love it. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap, but I want you to know, like I said, that if you need me, I'm dead serious. I don't say stuff, and people on here know me. They know if I say, call me, I'm there. Call me, I'm there. And don't let this world beat you down.
Yeah.
Do not let this world beat you down. It will do its best. I promise you. Especially at 23. At 23, I can remember the beating down that the world gave me. Yeah. But God, man. Trust God, believe in yourself, and you're gonna go everywhere that you want to go, whether Jay-Z's there with you or not. But if Jay-Z's watching, again, realtalkrajan@gmail.com. I really appreciate it. Message me. Any parting thoughts, bro? First of all, where can they find you if they want to follow you, keep up to what's going on with you? And then parting thoughts.
And like that's why I changed my name to @Pharaoh Almighty. So it's @Pharaoh Almighty. You know how they have the name? You can put it as some other name. It'll be G Jordan Jr. So
Okay.
G Jordan or G Jordan Jr. But it's @Pharaoh Almighty. And that's why I use Pharaoh Almighty, because that's my grounding me.
Yeah.
That grounds me to where, look, you're not this person people want to shape you into. You know, you are you. You know, you are that light, you're that dancer, you're that designer, you're the artist, you're that speaker. You might be even an activist.
You might be.
You know, but that ain't first on my list right now. I'm sorry, y'all. You know, I love y'all, you know, and that might be me in the future, but right now, G Jordan, aka Pharaoh Almighty, he's just not this raging activist right now. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to find how to speak to people better, how to speak to different crowds, and that's what I'm learning. You can't have the same message for different crowds. You know, you gotta learn your crowd. So this is all a learning experience for me. You know, like in a sense, I can't be this activist you want me to be, or I can't be this activist you want me to be, because I'm still learning a lot. You know, still learning the right moves. You know, I'm still playing chess. You know, I'm a beginner in this. You know, so I can't be this activist you want me to be, because I don't have the experience in it. You know, yet. And just go back to that one thing you said. What do you want to do with all this? With the speaking and the podcast, I never really hit home with it, but my main goal is to make. I guess I'm giving y'all my plans. Hopefully you don't steal it. You know, like, come on, I'm a nice guy. But hopefully I want to create a podcast called The Round Table. And the round table is that I want every single race, culture, and background to come to my podcast in a circular table and talk about world problems that need to be talked about, and world problems that we can hopefully fix and make solutions towards. That is my ultimate goal, and make it into a whole big company building.
Word. Okay.
That's my goal.
But that's not far fetched. That's definitely something you can do. That's definitely something you can do. I've seen lots of podcasts, so I can definitely. If you need guidance, I got you. Just say the word, man. But thank you so much for watching. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this interview. Thank you again so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me get my music queued up. Sorry, I usually have my script loaded up by now, but I'm so busy talking that I didn't even load up my script. I'm slipping. All right, tick 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 tick. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and start my music. Thank you for watching this week. I really appreciate it. Thank you to G Jordan, aka Pharaoh Almighty. Man, it touched my heart that you took the time to come on and be here. Like I said, if you need me, you call me. It's nothing is done. All right. This has been the Local Celebrity Spotlight. Remember that it shines every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. where I interview my local celebrities and unsung heroes. Next Wednesday night, I actually have Tabitha King, Officer Tabitha King, who's coming on to talk about her children's book that she wrote. I'm really excited to talk to her because I've known her since before she was writing the book. And now that the book is out, I'm excited about the opportunity to share it with the world. If you are doing something in the community that you would like a light shined on, please reach out to me on my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajan.com. And we can discuss getting you on the show. This and all my shows, in addition to the Card Chronicle series, is now available for your listening pleasure via Apple, Spotify, Google, and any other place you can find podcasts. You can also find it on my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajan.com. If you'd like to be made aware of when I go live, because sometimes it is unscheduled, please follow me by clicking the follow or subscribe tab on the page and turn on the notifications so that you'll know when something new has been posted to the page. In the meantime, please stay up to date with me and what I'm doing on social media by following Real Talk with Rajan on all the social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. I have far too few YouTube followers to be this dope. Pretty dope. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, whatever else you'd like to say in the comment section or the message section. I love getting your feedback I love reading your messages and getting your feedback, even if it's negative. I would also love it if you could leave a 5-star rating on the podcast. If you're listening on podcast, and if you're listening on YouTube or Facebook, please leave a review. I am also accepting invitations for speaking engagements and event hosting opportunities. If you would like for me to speak at or host your event, you can request me through my website via www.realtalkwithrajan.com. I need to shout out my sponsors. Special thank you to Science to See, www.science2c.com. If you have custom order needs of any kind, please go to www.science2c.com to place your order and use the promo code for this month. That's Real Talk 2020. That's Real Talk 2020. You get 10% off your order. Thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot thank you enough. This has been amazing. Shout out to Pharaoh Almighty. Shout out to everybody who watched. In closing, always remember that God is everything, and without him, we are nothing. So never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now that is Real Talk. I will see y'all next week. Peace.